Hello, everybody. This is Keith Varian, Chair of the Fairfield Golf Commission. It is February 7th. I will call the meeting to order. Let's stand up for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Let's just for the people who are on the call, let's quickly go around and just announce who's here. Again, this is Keith Varian, Peter Sechrist,
Mike Harrington,
Christine Hogan,
Mike Feinstein,
Bob Bigonette,
Anthony Calabrese,
Priscilla Schultz.
Who's on the call from the
Liam Aaron.
Great. Thanks, Liam. All right, I think tonight will be, and I'll probably jinx us, but I think tonight will be a pretty short meeting. We do have a few things to talk about, though. First, everybody got the minutes that Prue circulated. Any comments, questions on those? All right.
I make,
whatever.
and I second it.
Whatever.
All in favor to approve the minutes is what Peter was trying to say?
Aye.
All right. Aye.
That'll do it.
All right, thank you. All right, staff reports. Bob, there's not a whole lot going on right now, but...
We're on hold for a little while here, but hopefully a nice early spring will come and we'll be out there as soon as we can. I personally think 4-Up is going along okay. People are figuring it out and able to sign up, and if you saw the numbers, they're not too far off. So.
No. All right, as a personal question for that, if I have not gotten that email, can I get on 4-Up and is it self-explanatory to renew?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my question. Is anybody here yet renewed? I have not renewed yet.
I did.
Good. How'd it go for you?
I was tutored through the process.
Yeah.
I'll send you a how-to document.
And it was really
You will.
easy.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
The ladies' league
Okay.
and the men's league sent out instructions to everyone with screens, which was great. So it was easy.
Good. And so far, no real complaints or...
Get a couple calls a day.
A couple calls.
Yeah, but that's okay.
No, I know. I think it's going well
Okay.
myself. I
And
do.
Bob, the other thing was before, if you had a family, you could be on under one
Email address.
email. But now you have
Thank
to have
goodness.
2 emails, which
Thank
is great.
goodness.
So
You must be-
my account is now, my husband has his own account. We can't share an account any longer.
I gotcha.
Which is better because before, remember, you couldn't book.
Oh, no, it's better.
So
It's
this
going to be
is
better.
much
Okay.
Do we have any sense of whether the pace of sign-ups is equivalent to previous years?
I don't know about volume, but the dollars in that report look fairly close, right, Ann?
Yeah, I mean, I could just jump right into the administration report is, the numbers are lagging. But I think, part of that is it's the winter. So, it's a new system. We have had, Bob's getting calls, I'm getting calls down here. My staff is trying to walk people through it as best they can. We've registered people in person here. We still get the calls. I'm trying to renew my beach sticker and I can't find my golf pass. So word just hasn't really gotten out yet.
Right.
But I think as we start getting into next month, I think we'll have a much better idea of where we stand pass-wise. But I would say it's like Bob said, dollar-wise, we're I think right on track.
Can we put that up on the website for the golf course?
It's up there.
It is saying that you have to do your golf pass
Oh, I can make a screenshot of it on the first page.
separately from everything else. It's its own entity.
If you want that to be right on the front page.
I mean, it might not be a bad idea
I
just
think it's
for
a good idea.
initially anyway.
My fault.
Yeah, and is it on maybe on the rec
Yeah, it is.
page also? It is
Yeah,
on the
we-
rec.
But I
Because you're right, we're
can
gonna
put it like
on mass,
conditions
so
in
it's
Right.
pretty soon here.
Yeah.
Bob, does 4-Up allow any kind of tracking of play, either maybe not by individual but by pass type? Like red
Absolutely.
ICs,
Absolutely.
season
Yeah.
ICs,
Even the old system.
You can do that too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So it'll track them very similar.
You mean like where?
Like juniors,
Yeah, I'm
seniors.
So-
I mean, the whole season pass thing,
So, here's the nice part. 4-Up does track it differently. I can now break out the type of round. So before, we couldn't separate out how many weekend non-residents played versus weekdays. And now it's all broken down, or how many juniors. You only had one bulk number. And there really was no way to really figure it out.
Kind of getting at.
Now, it
The analytics are broader.
I have to add those numbers together to get to the numbers that I give you guys every month. So
Yeah.
I can change the reporting that you guys get monthly to this new report, but just keep in mind, if I do that, we're not going to have any real history because we're not comparing apples to apples
I don't
anymore.
know if that's necessary, but maybe at some point at the end of the year, we can maybe look at things as we think about.
Yeah.
I don't want to create work, but I love this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, being out year to year is
Yep.
awesome, but I would also like to see who's playing.
I
No,
agree.
we can do
Yeah.
that, it's easy.
Oh, no, yeah.
It is easy, so
It's not a ton of work.
Okay.
No,
Yeah, I would like
yeah.
to see that also.
Yeah, that's a good point, because I would love to know how many of each of the categories are playing, just out of curiosity, because, you know, are we getting more non-residents this year?
Yep.
You know, or we won't have year over year, but, you know, that kind of information.
Yep.
Good.
And Peter Grace is not here, he is away, but I do just want to report some of the tree work is begun. Obviously, you know, a lot of this stuff is weather dependent, so the last couple of weeks have been rough for us. And we did have a break-in, unfortunately, up at the maintenance building where we lost about $10,000 worth of blowers and chainsaws and stuff of that nature. So more small handheld stuff. We didn't lose any big mowers or anything like that. So police are on it.
Oh, that's awful.
Yeah, end of last week.
Too bad we didn't lose the big.
Yeah, that actually might have been beneficial.
But the tree work is being done by a contractor.
Correct.
By Peters.
That's correct.
Now, would this be the time, even though Peter's not here, to go over the report and what the USGA person said as far as the recommendations?
Yeah, you
and
guys can talk about it for sure.
Well, before we move on to that, just tell me about where we are at the golf carts real quick too, if you don't mind.
So golf carts right now, Bob has done some legwork with two of the large companies as far as flipping leases and getting new numbers and trying to get everything in line for the purchasing department. Both of those companies are saying lead time on carts right now is like everything else, where supply chain is a disaster. So they're saying, if you don't place your order now, you're not going to have them in time for 23. So purchasing's got a couple different things that they can do. They can extend the lease that we have with the current company for the current 80 carts and try to figure out, how we get a new lease after that. Ideally, what we're trying to do is get them to put the lease out now so we can get it in line and flip brand new ones. We don't want to be left without carts come spring.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I think ideally, if we could just redo all 80 carts with a new lease for 2023, that would be better. Have new carts.
That's
right?
the hope.
Yeah.
That's the hope. It's just a matter of
Logos on them,
supply.
the whole,
Yeah.
whole spiel would be.
Bob, do you feel 80 carts is sufficient?
Absolutely.
Good.
Especially, I think if we go with lithium batteries in the new ones, that you could probably even get away with a few less, but 80 is a good number.
Okay, good.
There's some really good information about lithium batteries and stuff like that, but I'm personally concerned if we don't get in front of it that at the end of 22, E-Z-Go carts are coming off lease and golf carts are literally on fire. They're not going to just say, hey, if they're not going with them. You know what I mean? If we choose club car, but I don't think we're going to. I think everyone's telling me that you're lucky you're way out in front of it, so just stay out in front of it.
Didn't we last year have 80 carts plus 20 more?
60 plus 20. 20 new ones.
And one lease is up, and then the other one has an extra year? Is that what it is?
No, it's up in April.
Yeah,
One's up in December, the other one's up a few months later.
Exactly.
Okay.
But we can renew them probably at least somewhat.
If we go with easy, if we go with
the easy cart, yeah.
Yeah, I'd like to have them all simultaneously.
Yeah,
if we could.
ideally.
But understand if it, okay.
Are you optimistic that we'll be good with that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think we're on.
Okay.
And I'll just jump in on the USJ report quickly. So Mike Harrington's been doing the legwork, but the way that we look at this is we took that report and a few other things, and we're working on putting together, he already has a list, but we're putting together quotes for the items. And then once we have that quote list, that's what we were going to present.
Okay, perfect. I didn't know that.
To the whole golf commission. So, and jump in if you want.
Well, we got Zach up to the golf course finally last week to look mainly at the drainage, which is his area of expertise, plus he knows where all the old pipes are. And so he took all the measurements on hole 7 down through 6, 10, and then 18, that whole valley down there, which has got good basic, I don't know what you call it, pipe but needs trunk line things in order to feed more down into that to drain that surface area. So he's got all the measurements, he's putting together his data. He's really struggling with what kind of cost to put on it. He told me that the pipe that he was using on another project went from $750 a foot to from $250 a foot to $750 a foot.
Wow.
So I said,
Just
look,
like
just
everything
make an
else, yeah.
assumption, put it in there, tell us what the assumption is, and we can work it over time. So Peter will be back at the end of the week. He's working on the cart path numbers. We've got the tree numbers all in there based on the report. We'll get Zach's drainage stuff, and then we'll be ready to sit down. I'm hoping the first or middle part of next week with Bob, Peter, me, and put together the final roughly 40 projects with a description of the project, priorities of all the projects, cost estimates, and who's going to do the work, whether or not Peter's people can do it or it requires a contractor or whatever.
Okay.
So if we can have that done by, let's say, the end of next week, then we'll be ready to sit down with the same group plus Keith and Anthony and begin to talk about strategically, how do we present a plan? What's our rationale? What's the payback?
Present to who?
Well, to us first.
To us,
We'll go
right.
us.
First.
Yeah,
Okay.
and then we'll all,
When will the commission weigh in?
The earliest
I
would
think
be
once
the
we have it
March
put
meeting,
together,
but I would think the April meeting, we should certainly have the whole.
And will the commission be a part of helping set the priority?
That's what my question is,
Well,
thank you, yeah.
We'll show you what we did, and then
Because
we
you
welcome
didn't
any
mention
input.
moving any of the keys, because he mentioned that a lot in the report,
He
that
did.
he felt that the swing speeds.
We've got 4 of them in the project. But recall what the project is about. The project is basically a capital project. Peter is able to do key work, as he has done in recent years, without capital money.
Correct.
So we've made them, we made them low priority in the capital project list. Not that we don't think they're important, but that getting money for drainage and cart paths is, in our view, a far more important.
Right, and I understand that capital-wise, I
Yeah.
get that. However, if we move this down, prioritizing the other things first, I'm afraid that we're not gonna get what we need to get
I
done
understand.
as far as
I
the
understand.
T's
We
are
just have to
concerned.
remember, we have 2 things. We have a
I get it,
capital plan, but then we have Peter's normal operating work
right.
with various kinds of
But
other
if he
projects.
feels like it's not a priority, he won't get to it. And so I think that's what we also need to talk about.
Yeah, and I think the overall plan here would be to get a plan that we all like, we vote on, we approve it, and then we'll have to work with Nancy about how we present it to the town to request the necessary money to fund those projects.
Right, but my point is, because some of these items are not a
Correct.
capital expenditure, I don't want them down on the
Okay.
list and saying, okay, we're not gonna prioritize them. Why can't we prioritize not based on money? Is that
Yeah,
possible
we
to
can
do?
That's a separate,
Yeah.
that's a separate thing. I think,
Probably.
I think you're right, I think there's like the capital.
We need a capital, right.
And then we have a list that includes some of those capital things in the,
Exactly.
in
Yeah, I
the,
see
in
what you're saying.
the range.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we go to the
You know,
town, those items probably won't even be on it.
Correct.
Yeah, they won't even be on that list when we go to the town.
Right.
So, but yeah, we can figure out in order of what order they get done in, that'll be for us, and then we'll go to the town with just the ones that we need money for.
Perfect.
So we'll do that.
Okay,
That's
thank
a good
you.
idea.
Absolutely.
And the question too, it's kind of funny in the report, I couldn't tell if in every case they wanted a new T or just to move existing Ts. And so those are the kind of things that we can talk about.
Right, and then
too.
the size of the Ts he mentioned a lot. I
Yeah.
mean, it was great reading, it really was.
No, he's spot on, that's
Yeah.
transmission valve. I'm a big fan of
Absolutely.
it, it's the long leaf system it's called.
Right.
And I think
Yeah.
this is all up on the, right, this is all put up on.
Is it public now?
Yeah, it should be on the town website now, behind. I guess we didn't do a very good job of that before, as a golf commission, we didn't put the backup documents behind the agenda, like some of the other, but we're doing that now, right?
I'm trying to figure out how that's gonna get done,
Okay.
because Sue is telling me that she doesn't do it.
Really?
And it has to be put on the website, so I'll figure it out, I'm gonna talk to Betsy.
Yeah, because we do that for all the other
I know,
boards and commissions.
Yeah,
I know.
Honestly, I just assumed it was. I
Yeah.
didn't even double check.
and I never
I know.
even checked either,
Yeah.
sorry.
Okay, all right, well, let's keep working on that, because these should be out, this kind of report should be out as part of our,
Right.
public agenda. So, Same with these numbers too, like these
Yeah,
numbers should be out with the
I
agenda.
always thought they were.
Yeah, honestly, I did too. I never really checked. So.
We're actually secret.
Yeah.
Once you do that, that's what it sounds like. That's not the intent. All right, Greens Committee, how are the Greens rolling?
I've walked the golf course a couple of times, they look good, pretty frozen,
Yeah.
and nice, they roll, yeah, very fast.
They're not holding when you.
No, they're definitely are not
When you
holding.
wedge into the green, it's going on fast.
All right.
Although people have been, you can tell people have been hitting balls up there,
Oh, really?
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
they always do.
Yeah.
But
Hitting
So cool.
I think they're crazy to do that,
Great.
yeah.
Really? Still? How do you, like, the ground is frozen, or must be frozen in a couple times.
We just take 7 irons, with 7 irons, short course right there.
Wow.
Yeah, it's fun.
I'm good for you. All right, part three.
Georgia speed
Well,
maybe.
same, but the only thing about in the part 3, Bob and I have been talking that I think it might be a good idea to consider doing a few small changes around a couple of the holes, like the 3rd hole, the 5th hole. It's very overgrown around some of those areas, and it's really hard to kind of, hit a straight shot, especially for these, the type of golfer that's playing there. So I do think it's worth exploring doing a few little changes around there.
Okay.
So I don't know who we ultimately talk to about that.
Just cutting down some,
Yeah,
so-
nothing major, but some,
So if we're talking about the tree line on the left, if I'm on 3, I had a feeling that's what you were gonna say.
No,
We're
no,
talking
we're not
about,
Yeah, the weeds on the water.
so on the 4th tee,
we've gotta keep a buffer.
the 4th tee, I'm talking, not on the left, those trees are great.
No, but on the pond, or whatever you wanna call it,
Right.
the water.
right, the water.
Swamp.
Yeah.
We do have to keep a buffer of 10 feet around, from the edge all the way around. Now,
Really?
It's a no-mo.
it's definitely a no-mo, just like it's
Yeah.
supposed to be at Smith.
Because what happens is the people that play there, they just drill their drivers right into it. They look like man grills.
Doesn't mean that we can't talk to conservation and
Yeah,
see.
I understand.
But that's
I
probably
don't mean to open up a,
restricted, right? Like, isn't there a lot of restrictions on what can
Yeah.
be done there in terms of landscaping and use?
Yep. Yeah.
So maybe that's,
But, a lot of it, we can talk to conservation. There's a new director in conservation, so I don't know how familiar he is with the course, so it might be a good time
Why don't you
to
send me-
walk it with him.
yeah, send me what you're thinking.
Yeah.
And then, Anthony will get into the, commissioner,
Okay.
and,
Yeah. All right.
yeah.
I
But yeah,
just think it could be spectacular down there with the little views and stuff, with the little trim.
Yeah. I would love to spend more time with, hence, more effort, and more energy on the part 3, so.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, 50th anniversary. Who wants to talk about that?
Well, that would be me.
Director,
Okay.
Okay, so I have a little handout so we can kind of follow along. Did you bring yours, Joe?
I have it in my email.
So, this is myself, as the chair from the golf committee. Okay, this is another one.
You have words on yours?
Here,
After we
maybe,
take
I think I
notes.
have other things on these. Here's some. Thank you, can you pass those?
Yes.
So, everyone, so we met, so myself and Joe and Bob and Sarah's on the commission, but she, had a family emergency, couldn't attend, and then Joe didn't show up, I don't really know why. So I told Joe the wrong date, so that's my fault. All right, so we sat down, myself and Bob.
reduce my input. Sure, it wasn't intentional.
I didn't take it such way.
And Boca attended too.
Okay.
So what we worked on, again, this is all just kind of, how do we do this? So
Broad strokes.
broad strokes. So we're gonna, it's the 50th summer of Smith. So we wanted to start in May and go through the end of August. So we did 4 events at Smith and 1 event at the Parsley. So we did 1 a month. So the first event is going to be May 20th. Now, these can move. We did have to look at a calendar because there's a lot of stuff already booked.
Yes.
So, and we tried to do as much later stuff in the day on a Friday night so we could get as many rounds in. So the first one, we're going to do a driving and putting contest, and we're going to use clubs from the 50s to commemorate 50. So anyone who signs up to do it has to use these clubs, and afterward, we're gonna have a wine tasting and a bourbon tasting and a band and some past cocktails.
Real party.
That's great.
Yeah, okay, you know, we do, the thing that's really
Yeah,
open on it is how much
definitely,
it's gonna cost,
Yeah.
and we don't know that yet, and how much do we wanna charge? I mean, I think we wanna just come out even, is the idea behind this one. So the next one is gonna be the townwide event. So this was a little, we didn't really understand what's going on with, the Cup. So what I came up with, or we came up with, is instead of calling it that, is we did the first annual First Selectment Tournament coupled with the townwide golf outing. Because this way, it doesn't matter what party you're in, so this could be something we do every year, and it's non-affiliated to a party, we feel like it's gonna be easier to get 120 golfers once than 120 golfers twice. So this will be a full Monday golf outing. You know, you come in, you have lunch, you golf, we need sponsors. This is where we need the rec department to help, because I need help making a brochure to get key green sponsors. We're gonna have to do the math, work with Boca, how much do we need to charge, you know, try to keep it $100 a person, $400 for a foursome, then there'll be prizes. So we're gonna try to say, like, if the men's league could get 4 foursomes, like kind of push, the ladies league get 4 foursomes, go around town, try to get other foursomes. I don't know how hard it's gonna be. I mean, Bob's a little nervous about getting 120 golfers. It's a lot of golfers.
I'm not.
It's a short window if we did it
Well,
in
we
May.
need to get it
I've
done,
just
like,
been
we
around
need to
this.
get the brochure
Well, you have it on
done.
20th, you have it on June 20th now, right?
June
Right, that would be ideal, but we're a little ahead of ourselves, because we're having a meeting on Thursday about the Brenda thing, but I think there's a marriage there.
Are you talking about the same tournament, like?
Well, no,
Well, the problem is there's two different groups working right now.
Yeah.
There's my staff, and then there's this
We need a
group.
little
So
love.
I need to get these two groups in the
And
same
that's
room
how it's
and
gonna
put
go.
all this
We're
together.
talking about one
Right.
golfer.
Yeah.
Well,
Right,
but
right.
the golf
That's
commission
related to
golf
the
tournament can't run,
I think
I
we
don't
need
think
both
we can run a
together.
cup check cup. We can run a first
So
select.
I called it that,
Right,
but what it needs to be is a first select person's
tournament.
Yeah.
tournament,
Right.
quote unquote, the
This
cupcake
year's
cup for this
version
year.
is the
Next
cupcake.
year or 2 years from now, if there's a new first selectman or woman, it could be the Smith Cup.
No, I don't
It
think we
doesn't
should
matter.
use those, I just
Well,
think we should
it's
call it
just
that. But if we
call it
wanna
what you want,
couple it
or
with the
less.
50th,
Yeah.
right, then the golf commission will lead on that with your team, right? We definitely need help with the brochure, we need help with the logo, and we need to start knocking on vendors' doors to get participation.
Yeah, I just don't wanna have competing tournaments.
We don't, I
Yeah,
don't
right.
think, you don't wanna do that, right?
Well, no, so we already, I think, booked the 20.
We have the
something.
23rd and
The
May.
23rd of May?
May.
Yeah, so.
That's really early.
different-
That's what I'm worried
Different dates, all
Okay,
right.
yeah, so we gotta get the
again, we gotta get the
dates.
two groups
Yeah, we're,
together,
yeah.
that's all.
yeah, and I'm meeting with them.
But you shouldn't, I guess what
Thursday.
I'm trying to say is, you can't meet with them without me, if the
Yeah,
golf
yeah,
commission
agreed.
is liaison.
Come on, we
to run
want
the
you.
trip.
Right.
No,
Yeah.
but you can't set up meetings without asking me first, because
We
I don't
just-
even know when it is, and I can't be there on Thursday.
Yep.
So, do we wanna say right now, though, that May 23rd is not gonna work, because I can't possibly, if you guys wanna do that, go ahead, but the golf commission.
Brenda thinks it's the 23rd right now,
Well,
so.
okay, but the golf commission can't get a good golf tournament ready by May 23rd with enough participants. There's not enough time.
I personally think that's really early, May 23rd. I mean,
Do
what do
whatever
you
wanna
think,
do.
Bob?
But would your staff be on board if we moved it to, I'm just saying.
My staff would be fine with moving it. They're not gonna have a strong
Opinion either way.
opinion on it either way. They were told to do
Because I
it, they're gonna do
just want everybody to buy
it.
I want
I
everybody
think
to buy
it's
in
gonna
and have
work.
one tournament.
Right.
All right, so I'll let you guys work this out, but, right, have a meeting, first thing is, we're all talking about the same tournament,
Right.
and what's the date gonna be?
Right. But you're right.
Then
I
we'll
mean,
have
if
a full
Christine, being the head of it from our end, probably needs to be at the meeting that you're gonna have with everybody else, so maybe that needs to be changed.
What was the reason for the cup, the Brenda Cup?
A lot of other towns do a mayor's cup or a first
Okay.
select person's cup. So it was just to start an annual town-wide golf
Got
tournament,
it.
which we don't do right now.
Got it. It wasn't anything.
No, it had nothing to do with Brenda other
at all,
than
just
the fact that she's the
office,
first
it's not
selectman.
really-
Right,
All right.
exactly.
Yeah, you can call it, like, just spitball, like Keith Cup,
Yeah, right,
Sure.
exactly.
throwing out names here.
But
We're
everybody
aligned.
agrees, I just wanna make sure that everyone here agrees that the first word is, this is the 50th annual, this is to celebrate 50 years of Smith, coupled with the first annual First Selectman Tournament.
Or the other way around, but yeah. I mean, so the bottom line is we're trying to create a signature event
Every
for
year,
the golf
an
course.
annual.
An annual event every year.
Okay, so that's
Then
where I
maybe we
disconnected.
shouldn't be
Yeah, so
one.
that's where I
Right.
disconnected.
Maybe we
I thought it
should
was a
not
one-time
do
only.
that.
You're talking about an annual.
No,
I
we
think
want
it's great.
we're
Okay.
looking to do this annually, and it just happens that the
No, it
kickoff
should be.
is in the 50th.
I love the
year.
idea of a kickoff
So-
of our annual tournament starting on the 50th year. Like, it's a good kickoff event
Yeah.
where,
Yeah, I don't think it's a bad thing to have one tournament.
yeah, one tournament where we
But I do agree to try to do 2 tournaments.
I don't.
But now it becomes 6, you want 6 events?
No,
now?
so this,
Well,
so
yeah.
And again, this is why we've got to
what
get,
we painfully
Yeah.
agreed to, I think, is one tournament on the 20th, and it's a combination of the first annual, first selection tournament and 50 years of Smith.
yeah,
Have we agreed to that?
yes,
Well-
I'm on board with that.
yeah. But again, I think we have to get these 2 groups in the same room, because I can tell you right now, you have 4 or 5 events right here. Even if we take the tournament and call it 1, I think my staff's got 3 other events planned for up there for the 50th anniversary.
What,
Yeah, we gotta be
on
more-
the golf course?
Yeah, and par 3, and things at par 3. So again, we've got to get these 2
But
groups
I thought you
together.
had asked me to head this, and the golf commission was gonna manage it.
Yeah, yes.
I didn't know.
guess I didn't know that they were doing
Did
separate.
you know they were doing separate?
I think we're gonna be fine, we just all gotta, we just gotta get together.
I know nothing.
I didn't know that they were
We need a
I
meeting.
don't wanna waste our time.
I hear that. I don't want to waste anybody, but I think if we get together, I think 4 events is a great number for our summer. Having 6 events or 7 events would be probably a lot.
I think
Maybe we'll lose steam.
we don't want to saturate.
That's what I mean.
I mean, I think like 1 at Smith, 1 at the
Look,
par 3
if I
is
go to
like,
my staff tomorrow and tell them, hey, you guys are off the hook, golf commission's going to do all these other events, all we have to do is help with the tournament, my staff will be celebrating. We'll have a party tomorrow. But
wait, we gotta hold on to that.
Yeah, right, no. Trust me, they will be
Yeah, we
thrilled.
need their
Well,
infrastructure. We need
Yes,
their
we do.
infrastructure.
Yeah,
Like, to put together the marketing and stuff.
Yeah.
so, but you have
But-
to agree on the number of events where they're gonna take place, and make sure it's just not overwhelming to anybody
so I-
who's involved.
Right, so let me continue with what we're proposing
Sure.
for events, and then we can see if they're the same, and then we just change the dates, because you guys have done some legwork. We can pick up on that. All right, so after the town event, we wanted to do a 9-hole 50-themed golf outing. And it's followed by a barbecue and prizes, and everyone's supposed to kind of dress like the 50s and best outfits, so forth. Very family-orientated.
Okay.
Event 4, August 12th, a 9-hole generational tournament, or a family open. Kind of didn't really know what to call this, so we're really hoping that we were trying to say that it's someone under 20, someone under 30, someone under 40, someone under 50. And each group has to be in that generation, and when you come down, it's a little, I think, difficult, so then we are thinking maybe just be a family open, followed by a family-style pasta dinner. So maybe you guys have had some better ideas, and we can kind of refine that one. Then the last one is at the par 3. We wanted to do a parent offspring tournament, followed by the Boca Food Truck. Pretty simple.
Like a 2-person scramble?
Yes.
Yep.
So, I mean, I think that this is enough tournament, so I think if we could get together with your group and see what you guys came up with, maybe there's some, between the 2 groups, there's some better ideas, and we can kind of refine it a little bit more and get back to you at the next meeting. We are going to put something on each stick to represent 50 years. We're going to put something in every cart, so these events are laid out on the cart. I did ask Boca if they could do something on the tables. She said no.
They've never done that, she said
She
she
didn't
would
want a tent,
reach
so
out.
I guess that
about
would be good to have a little table tent to keep telling people about events. But she did say they could do something. I can't remember what she said.
She
I
agreed
did
to
wanna ask
specialty cocktails.
But that's where we'll get Anthony's crew too. You're talking about marketing now,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And that's where you have a sense of how to market an
Oh.
event. I mean, right? That's what they do.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony, is there a budget for this in the town?
No?
So everything we do has to be funded?
Yep, sponsors would be nice.
I know, but
Yeah.
like, we were talking about potentially at the main outing, if it was at cocktail hour, if we did like a laser show outside, because those are a lot cheaper than fireworks, but we don't have a budget.
No.
And on some of these events, like we were thinking of charging, really minimal money just to cover the event.
Yeah.
So there's no budget?
No.
Well, I guess what it sounds like, though.
And I can reiterate, there is no budget.
Are you hoping for an answer change?
So is there money?
Well, if you don't make enough
No
money,
funding.
what's gonna happen? I guess
Yeah,
is the question.
Right, I mean, I guess.
We're not moving the forward seas?
Break even or in the, so it has to be break even or in the positive, the town won't
Yeah.
write any check for anything.
Theoretically, that's how this would normally work. So,
What if we have the front money? Like,
so again, most of these tournaments aren't ever run by the town, right? So they're run by either the fire union, the police union, or a 501c3 who can get donations. I'll just use the example of the K-9 tournament that Boca threw for the Fairfield Police. Boca has a 501c3 that they raised all the money through. They covered all their costs and still were able to write a check for $35,000 for the K-9 unit. Now, granted, that is
but
a
you
very...
call it the Cup to Cup, right? Like, I mean, how do you say that, right? Like,
Well,
if it's the Cup to Cup, isn't it a town event? I mean, like,
No,
does
so-
the town have some involvement in that then?
Well, then we don't do it this year. Right, I mean, that's it. If we wanted to do that, then we could put it in the budget for next year, and then it's in there.
Charity,
But,
let's pick a charity.
Well,
that's my
so
thought.
we were thinking the money from this tournament would be split in two. One of the things we talked about, if we ended up with excess money, we would take half the money and put it towards some charity local, like the food kitchen here, and the other half maybe to be bucketed toward the rec department for youth activities. Because it would help people to come out and sponsor it if they knew it was going towards something like that. But we won't have any upfront money, Anthony.
Right.
So how do we pay for things? How does that work?
Well, we could take it out of our programming funds, which is not part of golf, but recreation programs, and it's just a matter of moving things around. I don't like
With the idea of
necessarily
paying
to
it back.
do that, right?
I don't see it as a big outlay of any
No,
kind,
it
really.
shouldn't, it shouldn't be. It really shouldn't
not.
be, but,
How were you planning on paying for, like, if your staff was putting together events, maybe there were no costs?
all the events we run have to be self-supporting.
Yeah.
Right, so we might be fronting money out of this program fund when we do like the hole-in-one tournament, but we're charging people to come up there, you know, and we make that money back and most times cover, if not make except in.
At the end of the event, it's a zero-sum
Yeah,
game.
exactly.
Win, right, exactly.
But you may have to
Well, and
cash
that's the
it
big
out.
thing
Yep.
with the annual event, you know, are we gonna make enough in green fees to cover paying for dinner, right?
But I think what you're gonna be tasked with then, is what you just said, is putting together a budget that zero balances at the end.
Right.
And then we sit down with Anthony, if there are upfront costs, here are the upfront costs we need. But at the end of the day, it's a zero balance. And if we get 80 golfers and we're predicting 120, you know, and then everything above 80 then would go to these charities, but we need 80 to break even.
Right.
Something like that, you know, I think you need a break-even number and a budget then.
Yeah.
And then we can just say, here's how we'll do it, it's
And
self-sufficient.
our thought with the annual tournament was to let whoever the first select person is, they choose the charity. So if they have, you know, like Brenda, I know is into dogs and, you know, the animals, she might want to do, I can't even think of what one of the funds are, but that charity this year where, you know, a couple of years from now, we have a different first selectman, you know, their thing is homeless or, you know, whatever, then they pick that charity. So you always have a different beneficiary.
Do you think that businesses, like if you walk into downtown and go to Centros and say, hey, we're running a First Selectman tournament, it's the 50th anniversary of Smith, we'd like you to sponsor a hole. How does that go in town? Because I've never really solicited for town.
With a 501c3, as long as the money's going through there, they can write it off, is my understanding. They don't like to donate money to the town.
Right.
That I know.
We don't want to put that
But we don't have a 501c3.
Yeah, we gotta, exactly.
So we gotta pick up the-
Give enough to the town.
Exactly.
And that makes sense.
We can make money on all these.
Yeah,
I think,
So it may be beneficial to pick the charity first.
that's what I think.
right.
And use
And maybe
whatever
pick one that people
501c3
want to
that they have.
donate to.
Correct.
Right, not like.
At least the first time around,
Yeah.
right?
Put together some staff and talk through then the charity, right, this whole process, because they can help you put together what we're talking about here. And I'm happy to help too, I can do whatever you need.
Right, and again, something that's affiliated with Fairfield, a
Yeah,
local
right.
charity would be a.
Yes?
Okay.
Oh, good.
advance.
Swim across the curtain.
I knew you were going
So I
there.
think that's enough, I don't wanna, I mean, I
Yeah.
think this is a lot, and it's gonna be.
Well, you want to talk, we can talk offline too.
Yeah,
You
it's
and I
a
can
big
talk.
undertaking, so,
Yeah, these are big, every one of these events is a real undertaking.
we just need to be a team and create a
Is
great
that May
product.
23rd date set in stone,
No.
or, okay,
No.
so that could
No.
be moved?
Definitely could be.
We just had a reserve
What
something
day of the
at
week?
the beginning.
On Monday.
Monday.
Yeah.
So these dates are in the book for Boca, just because we wanted to make sure that.
Yeah, but
and-
those,
But our dates are solid, so even if we don't do what we have here, we have dates.
oh, yeah.
And the Ladies League is running a annual, I saw that's July 7th,
Right, whatever that Thursday is,
yeah.
yeah.
And
Well,
they were
that's-
trying to get
Yep, July
sponsors.
7th.
So
right.
we're, we have some competition, which kind of is a struggle. Because they're already ready to all of us go get sponsored, and it's like, you can't keep asking the same downtown.
See, that's,
to you.
right.
It's hard, that's what
And when I
Mike is
saw
saying,
it come
it's
out, I'm
hard.
like, why are
It
they
is.
ahead of us? But I guess they do this every year.
Yeah,
They're
it's their
just
annual
meeting.
invitational. that-
Right.
Christine, for July 15th, are you supposed to play golf, 9 holes in a 50s outfit?
Yes,
Well, we're hoping for it.
so what will you wear?
I don't know.
Yeah,
That's what
I
I'm
think
getting
it should be a
stressed about.
I personally think it should be disco.
You
Because
want to
50 years ago,
In my
72,
You do a
1950.
decades, right, you do a
Yeah,
decades.
I don't know, we have to
60s,
decide on
70s,
theme there.
80s.
I think disco.
But again, I'm not,
But no, that's fun, like, it's just all open to.
Yeah.
Right, and that's okay, this is a starting point.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. Now, unfortunately, though, this is a starting point, but if you look at it, we're at February 7th
Right.
already.
Yeah.
So, we don't have a lot of time.
And jumping right into 5 events in the first year.
Right, this is,
They're not all real golf events, they're more
The
restaurant
putting and
events.
driving
Yeah,
ones
that's
are
true.
kind of simple.
That's a mini golf, and then I'm gonna have wooden
Yeah.
drivers on the 10th tee with a track man behind it, you're hitting shots and
Oh,
that's
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you will need help,
Sure.
like,
That's
when
cool.
people register, making sure, I mean, if you don't need help, it's good.
Well, I mean,
No, if you're.
wristbands work
fine.
great, you sell them wristbands.
All right.
yeah, I mean, obviously, I will help at whatever event I'm here for, I will be more than
Once
happy
we
to
know a
help,
little
yeah.
bit more,
Yeah.
we'll start going, okay,
Yeah, but again,
here's
that's
what you
where-
come up with.
yeah,
Here's
the
what
big
you
starting
come up with.
Think about the
Right.
hole-in-one contest, that they did, where you put it all together and everybody signed up, stuff like that. That's where,
Okay, we definitely need you to put it on the site for us, get the sign ups, you guys are good at that.
Yeah.
All right, so we're gonna meet again, when? What month is this? Is this February?
February.
So when do you
March,
think,
March
we need
14th.
to have, so we'll have to, Anthony, talk offline and Bob about when we can get together with your staff,
Yeah.
okay? So you were supposed to get together when?
I'm still getting together with them on Thursday.
Why?
Because we need to, because we're getting so far behind it. We're not gonna decide anything. I just wanna hear what they have to hear so I can report back to you. Just get it stirring around, and then we'll meet again with you any day the following week, right? Your people are here. We're here anytime. You pick a time.
Okay,
We can do it.
okay,
I just, because I'm,
You guys have a lot, this is a lot
Yeah,
going on.
I think we gotta
This is a
start-
real lot.
I know.
I don't know, it's
and
like,
Yanni already committed to coming.
I'm
in.
thinking you might wanna dial
scaling
back
back
a little bit. Yeah,
Maybe.
that's exactly what I just said, Mike.
And also, maybe what we do, once we get them finalized, we have one member from the commission say, I'm gonna chair this one. Now that you have all the events, Priscilla said, okay, I'm gonna do the putting and driving one, and then maybe you do the part 3 one. And that will take pressure off of all of us, because you'll be that liaison.
Right, but there are a lot of events.
It's a lot.
Family of,
Bob says the stuff that's at night is easy for him.
yeah, because it's dark, there's no golf.
Just one of them is golf.
But your event
Yeah.
2 is the big one, is what you're saying, right?
Yeah, I mean,
That's the
you
big
do a
one.
big one at Smith and you do a big one at the par 3.
I think the
that's-
parent-child, those two could be maybe combined at the
Yeah,
point.
yeah, I think, yeah, I agree.
But we need.
I just am worried.
Of the part 3 event, though, I think that's a great idea. I love that it's an annual event, it's one of an annual golf tournament, I think that's awesome.
Mhm.
I think that'll be incredibly well attended, I just really do. I think people will show up.
What do you think the price point is that people will shy, like, if you say, here's a price for a foursome, what is Fairfield, what will people swallow? Because you don't have your boss paying for this, like, it's coming out of your own pocket.
For lunch, golf, cocktails,
Yeah,
dinner, the
yeah.
whole thing?
What is the break-even point usually,
You're talking
Bob, for
about,
that?
not just
Depends what
golf
you get from the
tournament,
restaurant.
You're talking about everything.
No, I'm
No,
talking
like
about
the
this.
juice flight.
Has he had-
When I think about a golf tournament, like when
He's
I
got
sign up
suggestions,
for my
he has
son for golf
menus.
tournament, it is.
I mean, you do a
80 holes,
pasta
nothing
and a
more.
chicken.
Maybe they give
Yeah.
you like some
He's
tea
gonna do
when
it.
you check in.
And how much?
And anywhere from 65 to 85 for like one day. you know?
You're talking about the big one on June 20th.
But now you're talking
the
about
whole
more
day,
than
like
that.
a most of the
Right.
day type of
So you're
tournament.
talking about more than that.
So what is the threshold typically? I don't know.
Well, last year, people charged anywhere from $500 a foursome to $2,000.
We could do 2,000.
Yeah.
As long as you get the sponsors, that's
Yeah.
what it comes down to.
It depends
Yeah,
on
but you're talking
who you
about
want to
having a
enter the
full-on-
tournament.
No
I didn't
chance
realize
of
that,
Right,
okay.
500
because
a
if we
person.
get too
Yeah.
expensive,
No.
we'll lose
We're gonna
the
lose-
people.
Mhm.
And
You'll-
we'll
right.
end up
You'll-
just getting.
exactly.
Well,
people
okay,
from-
Bob, talk about when you had the junior tournament.
Well, I
That was
think
just
that-
golf.
What?
That was just golf,
Yeah.
right? And I don't remember what we paid for that, but it wasn't,
Well, so for a normal outing, it's $76.
Yeah.
11 of it is pro shop credit and 2 is the scoring. So now you're down to 63.
Yep.
Is the normal
Mhm.
golf-related thing.
because that had no
I think
boat
we-
food.
yeah.
That was just golf.
So I mean, it depends on the level of food, it really does. But I don't
It's
think
probably
that
a
you're gonna be
cost.
able to charge 1,000 a foursome. I
But
really
it's probably
don't.
a base cost of $100.
Then it's not a tournament, then it's a.
Oh, I think it's gotta be at least
I was
125
thinking about 120.
That's what I think the
But
number is
to
too.
break
for
even,
every
right,
tournament
if you wanna make
I've
money.
ever played at. It's
Right.
We can
125.
break
But
even.
that's a charity event, like, I
Right.
guess.
No,
is it
that's what I'm
charity
saying,
event or
that's
is it
a
golf
great,
tournament?
that's the point to start at, and then you just go
But
up
those are,
from
those
there.
are, those are scrambles, and they're hitting giggles, and you get lunch on the course, and you're kind of screwing around. Is this a golf tournament with a winner?
We don't know
You know-
that. We don't know.
That's what I mean, so I'm
We haven't
kind of
even talked about it.
wondering.
Most
Yeah.
likely, for speed of play, if we got enough people, it's gonna have to be a shamble or a scramble.
Yeah.
You're just not gonna be able to
Okay,
get
okay, so
through
it's different than I
120.
read. Okay,
And I think
okay.
it's
Make it a
fun.
tournament,
You're gonna
yeah.
bring people who don't really know how to play. It's gonna take 5 hours.
At
That's
least.
Like,
it.
I thought it was gonna be, and again, I'm on board with anything, I thought it was gonna be like a true golf tournament. Who's the number one golfer in the
No,
country?
no, because the men, you guys do that already, right? The men's league.
They have a club
Yeah,
champion.
this is like a company golf outing.
Okay.
No
You know,
town-
you get a good
there's no-
day.
There's no
right?
town champion.
Yeah.
A lot of our members aren't Fairfield residents.
Right, right. I like the idea of a town champion, but I like the idea of just doing anything, so whatever's easiest and does, like.
I think
that
scrambles
works.
are easier to get foursomes for.
Can you do it for 125 a person? Can we like?
That's
do
about
both
right.
then?
I think that's about right.
I honestly, this is just my personal, I think you have less turnout for that event, because now, we all go, I can go to a dozen charity events, every summer, I can go to those. And there are, like you said, our companies are paying for them, and, we go to all these local golf courses and you play them. And I honestly couldn't care less about them, like, they're fine, right, they're no big deal. I like the idea of an actual tournament, but if we think we'll get more doing it with a scramble, then do a scramble.
Well, I don't know. I mean, do you think, Bob, being someone who books all these, are we gonna get more golfers in scramble or more golfers if this is an actual golf outing, straight stroke play?
A town stroke play championship. I don't see the private club guys coming.
All right, okay,
That's just my opinion.
The private guys.
I don't think the private guys are gonna leave their clubs.
okay.
Do you guys?
Tim, what do you
they're coming,
think?
Tim?
Well, Bob just mentioned private clubs, and I'm guessing the majority, or not majority, but a lot of private club members are not Fairfield residents.
Good point.
So that would limit the field if you had to be a Fairfield resident.
I don't know. I don't think it's,
All right.
Jim,
So it sounds like you
what
guys
do
all want to do the
think?
scramble, so,
Jim, what do you
do your
think?
thing.
So-
Well, the only,
Private
you
clubs
know,
we're talking about, Strip Club, Patterson, and everybody else Fairfield.
Priscilla?
No, I'm
Moto,
Priscilla.
Moto.
He knows, he's making fun
Oh.
of you. Go ahead.
90%.
I wanted it, when I originally thought about it, I thought it would be, to Keith's point, it'd be good to have a town golf tournament, like there's a town tennis tournament, right? There is a town tennis tournament where they declare a single and doubles champion, mixed doubles, ladies singles, all that stuff, right? Anthony?
Yes, that's
There
correct.
used to be, we don't run it. It was always
But-
privately run,
Okay,
so, but yeah.
But it's run down at the bubble, which,
Right.
I don't know if that's quasi-public, whatever.
It was public.
Yeah, so anyway, I always thought of it as, when I brought it up, I thought it'd be nice to have a townwide tournament and, the Fairfield champion at various age levels, handicap levels or whatever. That's what I thought, but,
It seems like we're kind of conflating two things though, right?
Yeah, but this is like a celebration of the fiftieth anniversary.
I agree.
So it should be fun, we should have anybody who wants to play,
Yeah.
it's scramble,
Yeah.
I
So
think
it's
totally
either
fine.
that,
Yeah,
This is not
or
a
it's that.
tournament.
right.
I mean,
We just
also,
have to
if
decide whether
you
it's-
run a
This year,
town
next year, maybe it
tournament,
could be something different.
you run the risk of people saying, I can't win, I'm not gonna play in it. Whereas a scramble, it's, okay, it's a fun event. We're here to have fun, play golf.
Or if you have flights,
Yeah,
that's a different thing.
yeah.
No, you're right, you get more probably, because more people are willing to play if they're not stuck to their own ball, right? Which is a
Right.
scramble.
And
which
also, I mean,
is go up.
this is the first year. I mean, we can
Well, it's, again,
morph it to whatever
maybe I'm
we
confused.
want,
Is this the
you know.
50th anniversary thing, or is this the annual thing? I'm confused. Okay.
Keith, remember you said we're gonna have a really short meeting?
Yeah.
Because,
It's the
Jinx.
kickoff of
Dang.
the
Okay.
annual thing.
I don't know, because I think you can, I don't think you have to overcharge for the golf, but then you can invite anybody who wants to come afterwards for drinks and dinner, and you can make a lot of money that way too. You got a lot more people coming.
Drinks only.
You
Yeah.
don't need to sell at the golf course
Right.
during the
The
day
50th part
also.
could be the dinner part.
Yeah.
Doesn't have to be the
Exactly,
golf
you
part.
want to make it more of a celebration,
Yeah.
more than the
Right.
golf
Whatever
probably
part.
too.
That's a
We charge
great,
$100
that's a
for
great
dinner
point.
only.
So,
Yeah, that's a lot of the women's events that we have. That you can either play golf and dinner, or you can just come to dinner only and pay a fee. I think that's a great idea.
I just think we need to get some.
You did,
format.
yeah,
We need a
absolutely.
format.
Bob wants people signing up.
No, that's not the point, we just gotta tighten it up a little bit.
Yeah.
Which is great, I think.
Yeah, all right, so we're gonna work on, getting all the details ironed out, and then coming back in March with a real plan.
Okay.
With more substance and more, and pricing, I think we're gonna have to get, right, real prices from Mocha. And maybe we should take one or two of these off,
Yeah.
because I don't wanna overwhelm you.
Right, I think that's a good idea.
If we're gonna be a tournament, like I think June is a better time for that, right? Of course, we'll be in better shape. May, God knows what could happen. I mean, it's colder.
Absolutely.
It's cold.
Yep.
It's this time of,
But
Mays are cold now.
just one thing about that, like a amateur tournament, like you're talking about, it's on a Monday, is really hard to fill.
Yeah, so we're talking about a typical, like,
Just
a typical event,
I
like,
mean,
you
if you
know,
did it on the
a
weekend,
Monday
you might
event.
be able to get some
Okay.
guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know guys that are competitive tournament golfers, they only have so many Mondays they can take out of work.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
I
right,
think,
right.
I think
it's
doing
gonna-
the
The
scramble.
more you guys
yeah.
talk, the more you're talking like a typical charity scramble event.
Right.
Is what I'm hearing.
Yeah,
Good point, Bob.
All right, if that's what everybody, you know, and I think for the 50th celebration, that's probably the right thing to do. Maybe going forward, if we make it an annual event, you know, doesn't always have to stay the same format. But I hear your point, which is it's gonna be hard to get an amateur tournament on a Monday. We'll probably get 12 people signed up for it.
Are we wedded to a Monday? We not take a
No.
Sunday?
That's up to
well,
you guys.
the reason for the
That
Monday,
is up to you.
yeah, they've always had them on Mondays, right?
Outings are in
Well, I
our
know.
rules as Mondays,
I know.
so.
Yes, outing's an outing. Is this an outing, or is this a?
Exactly.
I mean, you could do it on a Saturday.
I like
That a lot
the
of
idea of a
people.
Sunday,
Or
but
a Sunday.
we're gonna lose some tee
Good.
times, you know, but,
For $100 you can come play.
Yeah, but we don't have to, that doesn't count toward our budget, right? If we lose on a Sunday.
You don't have it, right?
We're just worried about the
Oh,
lack of
budget.
forward money here.
You can't get fired, really.
What about, we should think about that though. What do you think about, would we get a better attendance from a
No,
townwide
100%.
tournament if it was on a weekend versus a Monday?
absolutely.
Sure.
Because you don't have to work, right?
I think you're asking me, because you're looking at me?
I'm asking you.
I think you would, my own opinion, just my opinion, not speaking for anybody but Joe right here, I think you would torque off the golf population.
I absolutely agree.
Sunday afternoon? You think on Sunday afternoon?
I think Sunday,
Any weekend, right?
hey, Keith, you're up there on a Sunday
Yeah,
afternoon,
that's
I
what I
work
play
up there as a starter.
Yeah.
People are showing up at 6:30, 7 o'clock, the sun's going down, and
Totally.
And as long as there's daylight burning, people want to come up and tee off.
No, I get that.
I just, so if you were to do it on a Sunday, block out, you know, that much.
120
You
people.
can, I mean, you can.
120 people, that's a lot, yeah.
We do it once every 50 years.
No, I mean, you can do it. I mean, you can do it, but I don't know how, yeah, we do it, right, Bob?
You do.
Yeah, the men's club does it.
Yeah.
You do. Yeah, no,
I mean, it's not an
I'm
thing.
being, you know,
These are all things that we need to talk through,
Yeah.
right?
but now you're talking about, I guess you'd be talking about having a lot of players out there on a Sunday, going out in the morning at 7 o'clock, or 8 o'clock, whatever it is, right? Who, may not play a lot. And, you know, when we have our tournaments, we're generally done in about 5 hours. We go off at 7 o'clock, we're off the course by noon.
Right.
I don't know that you're gonna get, you know,
Yeah.
the Sunday golfer who understands that, you know, whatever the format, at some point you pick up and you move on.
Well,
you guys are in charge, actually.
That can't be, that part
I
can't
don't-
be managed, yeah.
That's a good point.
It sounds like it'd be an afternoon, because dinner would follow.
Right.
Right.
But these are things that we need to talk about.
We should have started talking about this a while ago.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's all right, we got it. Now it's on.
51st year.
Yeah, you know what? It's just a detail. Are you sure it's this year?
You weren't even sure.
Is
It is this year, it's confirmed that it's this year, yeah.
Darn.
All right, we're moving on. Crew, I have no public comment email. Right?
No emails, no.
Yeah, nothing. All right, any comments from three gentlemen in the back?
Tim Daly, 135 Valley View Road, Fairfield. Regarding the resident senior rate, I know they're all set. What's the cost this year, Monday to Thursday, Friday to Sunday? It wasn't clear on the town website.
Of the which one, which
Senior
residents?
With the
I'm
4-day,
sorry, the resident pass, the 450 pass.
The season pass?
Yeah,
Oh, the season pass stayed
It's
flat.
165.
No, he's asking when you come and play.
When you
It's
come
up
to
a
play, I
dollar.
know it's 450.
Yeah,
It's Monday to Thursday,
Yeah.
and then Friday, Saturday.
yeah,
Last year was 18 and 20.
Yeah, 19 and 21.
It's 19 and 20.
Correct.
Everything went up $1.
I thought I did it on the website, maybe I missed it.
yeah.
No, he sent it to me, I just haven't sent it out to everybody yet. I'll get it out.
Thank you.
all right, anybody on the phone, any members of the public have any comments? All right, hearing none. Crew, remind me of when our next meeting is?
I believe it's, March
March
14th, yeah.
Perfect. Okay, so one extra week. All right, well, thank you, everybody. Christine, keep us all in the loop.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn,
Second.
seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Aye.
Thank you, Liam.
Bye.
Okay.